You can definitely say that. And in Munich, he did have a 6 out of 6 game where he hit 6 doubles from 6 attempts. But I think he already knows that Campbell is going to prove a very difficult person to hurdle. This is a great start from Matt, who has got levels, believe me.
140 and a 180. Puts himself in a good position on throw, having secured the early break, a 14-dart break of throw in the opener.
99.
If Matt Campbell wasn't here, he would have had the option to play in the cross-border challenge over in the United States in Jersey City. So I was talking to Matt this morning saying, surely he'd rather be in Graz. Look at this beautiful weather. And he said, it's actually hotter in Jersey City, and he made me feel like a bit of a fool. But that is not foolish. That's brilliant.
Well, it was very, very close.
But then again, you talk about green jacket holders, Johnny Clayton and Michael van Gerwen, who's got a couple of them. They know how to do it here in Graz. And just cast your mind back to the first time that we ever came here in 2018. And the first person to be the MC here in Graz was the referee in this match, Russ Bray. 99 red balloons and looking for 57 first. Now he goes north and doesn't get the first tops. And that's a lazy dart from Andrew. That's not like him.
Not like him at all. Campbell 45 for the instant break back. Double 16. And there we go. He's back in control once again.
And he's involved in a real scrap now.
Well, I mean, yesterday, his numbers yesterday against lesser opposition would have been more than comfortable. But as it was, he was up against a player who's having a bit of a renaissance right now in Ian White. And this is another tough assignment. Although, you know, if you get through to the second round, they are all going to be tough assignments, aren't they, really? Let's face it. And he's up against the UK Open champion.
It's almost as if Campbell is trying to take out all the Renaissance men. Because that's exactly what Andrew's done over the last year as well.
79.
And if Gurney was to take out the #1 seed, there's someone else who's looking to have his own renaissance.
Yep.
Got a switch. Single up top would have left 159. Good thinking from the Ginger Ninja.
So many would go for the 17s.
Campbell has not been behind the whole game.
Till he tops again, and Gilding is just beginning to warm to the task now, isn't he, on tops? Just below that treble 20 bed.
Are you a fan of Go West, Rob? Because you're like the king of wishful thinking there.
Oh, right, I thought you meant the actual song.
I went the other way.
You did. Bit of a curveball there from your good self.
Campbell again just hanging on, but this is a very precarious situation, and even in this heat, Gilding looks really comfortable. He's not going to lead double two. He's not going to do what Nick Kenny did yesterday. He's going to do something better.
Nick Kenny and somebody else, wasn't it? It happened twice yesterday. Anyway, my memory fails me for the time being.
130.
And despite Campbell racing out of the blocks in this one, with that 14-dart break and the 11-dart hold, it's Gilding who is first to match darts. And it's double four. And the UK Open champion, well, he had to survive a bit of a scare there, and he also had to survive a bit of a query at one point over the scoreboard.
There's another example. Krzysztof Ratajski, his slump lasted a year, 18 months. And yet he was still competitive. It wasn't that dramatic a slide. Jelle Klaassen went off the tour entirely. That is a slump from right up near the top end of the game.
And still isn't on it, but he's here. Ratajski might find himself in the lead, and I'll be really interested to see what he does here. If you love tops, you might go treble 7, but I think treble 15 will call. That was not a good shot, but he's jagged this small 15. Which means 1 dart at double 16 is beckoning, and it's not. What's he doing here? 46, there's double 9 left.
Well, it's one of those shots that could actually help him in a way if he'd stayed in rhythm, if he knew what he was going for. He's already sort of got the line, but the maths confounded the Polish Eagle, and he might lose the leg. Missed a couple at double 12 in the last leg. Doesn't miss it this time around.
Michael van Gerwen, of course, because he's never lost in Graz, and he also has the tournament average record set in 2017 of 115.57 against Crystal Reyes.
When was 2017? That would have been in... Where was that?
That was in Vienna. He beat Michael Smith in the final, one of the great Euro Tour finals back then. But the venue record here is held by someone who has been eliminated from this tournament yesterday.
Who dat?
Madars Razma.
Ah.
108.65 in beating Michael Rastovitz 6-0 last year. I wonder, in the heat, can somebody better that? Double top for Rock. 5-2 to Josh. He likes playing Ratajski, doesn't he?
He is playing at a level that rivals pretty much anybody on the tour, and he is doing it consistently, more consistently than the majority.
I think he just wants to win again.
434.
Am I right in thinking that being a top 32 player, he's not eligible for the World Youth Championship anymore?
No, World Youth, I think you're all right. I think it's just the development tour if you get in the top 32. Is that right?
Yeah,
I'll check that.
I think that's the case.
But this would have sealed the victory. The likelihood is he will get more chances. Krzysztof Ratajski was right in this game for the first 4 legs. He's faded while Josh Rock has continued, but double 17 to save his skin.
120.
And I think that little slump of the shoulders, Dan, tells you that Ratajski believes this game is out of his reach.
Of course he thinks that. It's Josh Rock. And Josh Rock almost always beats him, and he's done it again. The youngster from Northern Ireland, brilliant once more, 100 average, continuing to play world-class darts. Brought to you by social media. But Adrian Lewis, the 2-time world champion, the former European champion, a winner on the European Tour, of course. One of the most enduringly popular figures in the game. Says he's taking a break from professional darts. No info on how long that's going to be. He hasn't featured in much stuff in the last few weeks. Pulled out of some tournaments, including a Euro Tour. So we wish Adi well. Hopefully it's only a temporary hiatus.
Well, this would be a first hold of throw. We've had 3 successive breaks so far, and Mansell just opens up a little bit of a gap here with that hold of throw.
This is a real chance here, even a ton for Mickey Mansell. Whoa. Well, a treble 20. He's got it. It leaves him a 1 treble combo finish on the ball, which is better than the 136 Chizzy's looking at. That needed to be note perfect.
96. Mickey require 126.
Yeah, it's a warm day. That's a great piece of kit to bring with you today, and this could be a... Well, it's not going to be a great piece of kit for Mickey Mansell right now, but he has found the treble 19, and he needs the bullseye.
I am a fan of that, Mickey Mansell.
You know, this could be a big weekend for Mickey. He's one of these players just outside the top 64 in the order of merit right now. This would be a big helping hand.
Well, Mansell first to a finish on the Chisnell throw, but Chizzy should leave tops from there. Oh, he's not going to. That's okay. Single to double.
161.
Beautiful.
137. Davey require 58.
Great final dart from Mickey Mansell. Just a little reminder for Dave Chisnell. 2 darts at tops. And And he can't find the 1 dart at double 10 either.
You require 24.
And Mickey
Look where
Mansell can
Mansell
pounce
is.
once again. Yeah, look at exactly that setup shot again. The approach play once more from Mickey Mansell. Really, really impressive. And that is absolutely on the button. Double 12. First time of asking. Bang in the middle of the bed. 5-2, and he's 1 away.
Right now is a good 4 or 5 points better than any average we've seen from Mickey Mansell on the European Tour. And this is his 28th event on the Euro circuit. It is absolutely brilliant from the Clono Cyclone.
100. Mickey, you require 121.
Might be Mickey Mansell doing that dance in a minute. Not going to go to the 17s because he loops one over and he's going to leave tops. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to leave 21. It's a silly dart, Mickey, for a man averaging 102.5.
Well, it might not make too much difference in the long run, but moments like that can turn matches.
Well, don't do it again, Mickey.
Don't
Because
do
if
it
you
again.
go for 1 and hit the 20 this time, you won't be allowed any more darts.
Yeah, I mean,
He's not looking that way.
no, he certainly isn't. Oh, well,
Double 2 then. He's on double 1 anyway. It's a problem of his own making, but it does not matter because Mickey Mansell has put in his best ever display on the European Tour.
Not good enough for Demo. 1 hit from 6.
well, in terms of backing up that breakthrow, Luke Woodhouse has made a blistering start to this one. 180 and a 140. He's
85.
hit the slopes here, has Woodhouse very quickly.
Not the ideal scenario for Milk.
That milk will go off today, I tell you.
100.
Of all the lines I thought you would say today, Rob, that was not one of them.
Well, we had the elephant yesterday, didn't we? And
Yep. I've forgotten what I was going to say. I got distracted by the milk.
thrown you there.
100.
That could only happen at darts.
The cream will always rise to the top, Paul.
Well done. 81 for 4-1. He doesn't have to go 12 either.
No, he doesn't, because Heta is
49.
well adrift in this one. And he's had joy on double 16 so far. He's had a back-to-back 15 darters, one of them a breaker throw, and Woodhouse maybe a 13 dart holding coming.
134. Luke, you require 32.
Pressure though from Heta to leave 87. Woodhouse inside for double 8. 14 darter to back up the successive 15 darters.
And I think, based on what happened yesterday and how he looks today, if he can get through this game, he'd have maximum rest this afternoon and tonight going into a possible third Sunday on the European Tour.
Yeah, it's a nice position to be in, that I think, as well. Especially when he's feeling it in his physically.
84.
When I played on the European Tour, I always wanted to play Saturday afternoon. I wanted that maximum rest. The worst draw you can possibly get is late Saturday, in my opinion, but that's where all of the Premier League guys are, and you will see a lot of that tonight. Last game tonight, funnily enough, is Schindler Whitlock.
Well, it may be in vain, but it's certainly given Woodhouse a crack here at this 137. Heta looking at 85. Single 19.
Is he going to gamble here?
Well, he's got a decision to make, hasn't he? 66 remaining.
He's going to gamble. Gamble pays off. Fantastic. And maybe that little catalyst for him. Staying confident and brimming a little bit with some confidence now.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul, if he maintains this, if he takes out this 1-2-1, Damon Heta might finish up with a ton plus average here. Woodhouse has completely lost the way here with this visit. And the hobble looks a bit more prominent as well. 1-2-1. Gets it. Double 18 once again for Damon Heta.
85.
If you're going to miss it right there, miss it high.
Yeah.
Last thing you want to do is leave yourself on 18.
Pressure though, maybe. Big pressure from Luke Woodhouse. Match 180 number 5. Does come inside for double 9.
This is
Problems.
so big. Oh, what a delightful shot.
It certainly has been a cliche, an old cliche, but a match of two halves, this one. Woodhouse in control at 4-1, so it seemed looking comfortable. But
Aiming to require
Heta
106.
closing in potentially on a 5th successive leg to turn things around. 86 away now. Can't find the treble 18 that would have left double 16.
No ton plus checkouts in this game to this point.
58.
Can Woodhouse change that? If he can, he'd stop the rot and stay in the tournament, but that's not going to happen.
Well, there's the 20 that he's trimmed off. It just needs to,
40.
yeah, just refocus there. And
Aiming to require
well, that just about
48.
sums up the second half of the match for Luke Woodhouse right there and then. That was an encapsulation. Double 16 for Damon Heta, who finishes not quite with a flourish, but my word, he rattles off 5 legs without reply.
Week of September like it's been the last couple of years. But no Gibraltar this year.
180. No Gibraltar this year. Maybe no Mike Ivanhoven in the next few minutes, because Rob Cross has started this like a train. And we know he's capable of sustaining it.
Is this the kind of train that Kirk Bevins has actually recorded in his little book?
Don't know. While I do know something about Kirk's pastimes as a train spotter, I tend not to delve too deeply into it.
134.
There he is.
Loves a train.
Loves a train, does not like to train.
Wow. Your words.
45. Robbie require 91.
Well, a 15-dart break. This for a 4-visit leg. Going to the 18s. Believe double 10.
This is really interesting to me. But it works. This is a change of game plan. He's had problems in the bottom left corner when he's blocked the bed from the outside. So maybe he's recognised that changing to leaving double 6 and double 10 a bit more, he's not going to do that on the other side. He's going to open it up with a more inviting guide.
Well, let's see if he persists with that as a plan. We'll know if he leaves a finish like 52, which section of the board he wants to go for. Ivanhoven not doing himself any favours here.
46.
That does open the door.
Come on in, Rob. 180 here, and Mike is going to feel the heat. Have to stay straight. Can't really afford to go anywhere else.
60. Michael 115.
I remember when Mervyn King hit this shot to beat Phil Taylor in the Premier League. He went for the 25, then he got 54-36 after to win the semi-final. Ultimately lost, but the 115 is found by Mike Ivanhoven. Winner of this one will take on Ryan Searle or Raymond van Barneveld, which is one of the best games of tonight's session. Be sure to join us from 7 p.m. local time. It will be an absolute slobber knocker tonight.
Oh, lovely stuff.
127.
Didn't get the first treble, but got the next 2 to leave himself tops.
He does things that other people just don't do. I don't know anybody else on tour who would do that. Go for those 2 treble 18s right there. I know that going for the treble 19 first on 167 is a bit more popular now, but he thinks differently.
40.
And it's very good to watch.
I've always been a fan of his creative use of the board, and he's always been like that since we first saw him. The double top finds the mark for a 14-darter, and Rob Cross is just coasting through this. But at least a couple of visits from here, and maybe more than that. And for the 19s. Quick bit of calculation, chucks one in the 3. It's a good job he's got more visits.
Did he really just go for the treble 17? He never goes for the treble 17.
Yeah, so he'll say, if I'm going for the 17, something has gone wrong. He'll do all his scoring on 20s, 19s and 18.
I don't think he's going to be going 17s first on 104.
59.
My little penny is hovering above the 54.
He's been brilliant on the 18 segment in this game. How about the double 16? To wrap it up. Couldn't take the ton plus check out in the last leg.
70.
Can't take it out in this one either.
Well, at least this time he's going to come back. Ivanhoven has been trying to survive in this game, but he's been swimming against the tide most of the time.
44. Robbie require 32.
Going to go over the top of it into the high portion of the bed. Just there, and Rob Cross, the two-time European champion, sees off Mike Kuivenhoven without breaking a sweat. And only lost a tight game with Nathan Aspinall in the semis. You would think that maybe now that pressure is lifted, we can go back to seeing Joe Cullen do what he's done so many times and just stroll into these European Tour venues and play wonderful darts from the gods on these Saturdays and blast his way through to last 16s, quarterfinals, semis and even title.
Yeah, right though, it was certainly a much-needed semi-final appearance in Munich last time out, given those opening defeats in Riesa and Leverkusen. Just the one semi-final so far this year on the Players' Championship circuit as well. Cullen returns looking at a potential 14-darter. 15-darter instead will do nicely for the number 12 seed.
Cullen here is in the sort of ballpark with the best we've seen, and when the first dart is finding the treble, the game is getting a lot easier for Joe Cullen. Yeah, look at it. Let's throw another. There we go. If he's avoiding that first dart below the treble 20, Joe Cullen is looking absolutely brilliant.
Well, his prowess on double four used to be renowned. It's still very strong. Statistically, he was once the best player in the world on double four, and he's found it with his third dart in hand.
See the frustration there from Cullen, because when he is getting a dart in the treble 20, he's following it more often than not. If he'd followed it there, he would have left the finish, but he is bossing this game in the scoring stakes. 20 points clear of his opponent in the first 9 average. It's giving him opportunities. Nick Kenny's been restricted to just 4 darts at double in this game, and that is a wonderful setup shot.
Yeah, he was grimacing after his previous visit, but that has certainly got him back on track, and there we go. He talks about the double 18 that he was prominent on earlier in his career, and he's got another crack at double 18 as well. Yeah, no messing about from Joe Cullen now.
Again, it's that low dart. It's the only thing that's been consistently causing him problems.
434.
Well, it would be one way to sign off. It would be a heck of a way to sign off.
130.
Well, he leaves himself tops for the match, having missed a match start for the 170 finish.
Yeah, good miss actually, that final dart. However,
ooh, what a guide. But he can't get the treble 19. It means that Joe Cullen, having been 2-1 down, can rattle off 5 consecutive legs and storm through to the final day.
potential 13-darter incoming, and he rounds things off with back-to-back 13-dart legs as well, and that's a very eye-catching performance by Joe Cullen. But right now it's Gratz here for Aspinall. 145 is the target.
I think Aspinall's going to be quite happy about the fact that it's Leeds on Thursday, because the journey's not that far. Because going to Rotterdam, then on to Gratz, getting home hopefully on Monday night. He can wake up on Wednesday morning and think to himself, actually, I can get there in about 90 minutes.
You require 81.
Yeah, I mentioned that atmosphere in Rotterdam. He did, of course, beat MVG 6-5 in his opening match, so he's playing against a home player once again today. He also beat Van den Berg and, of course, Gerwin Price in the final. Double 12 is found, and Aspinall just keeps moving in the right direction.
And in this kind of heat, it's very likely that the tungsten might slip a bit too much.
It's interesting as well that his first ever European Tour event was in the Dutch Starts Masters in Venray in the summer of 2015. Now, I was there that weekend on commentary, and my God, it was hot that weekend. It was 34 in the shade.
Wow.
It was early June. It was a brutal time of year, and it was restrictively hot. And on stage, I mean, I can only imagine it was 10 times worse.
It's been recorded at 40 degrees on stage here this afternoon. It might get a little bit hotter tonight.
I would suspect that'll be the case.
But it's got a little bit of going to do to beat the Czech Republic in 2019, where it was recorded at 66.
I mean, you could have fried an egg on that stage that night.
Double 10 to win leg 7. Oh, he thought that was in for a second. And Aspinall can snap his heart in two if he finds a requisite amount of 20s.
Well, the average is, I mean, there's a gulf between them. 86 plays 73. But Schneer still involved to an extent. But slipping through his fingers once again now after that particular visit. They're often good value, his post-match analysis. 3 match starts have come and gone. Make that 4.
Schneer wants to stay in the tournament. He doesn't want this experience to end. He needs 51 and tops. Gets the 51. And he has missed a few doubles in this match. I say a few, he's actually missed 15. So he has had plenty of chances. And in fact, he's had more darts at double than Nathan.
Yeah, so 5 missed darts at double 20. 1 for Schneer, 4 for Aspinall in this leg. Inside for double 5. Wow, 7 missed match darts, and Schneer wiping his shirt on his Austrian sleeve, wiping his face even on his Austrian sleeve.
Can he find 5s? He can't. So Aspinall comes back, and the last thing he wants us to say is double-digit missed match darts.
That's the pitfall that lies in wait, but yeah, well, I don't think Nathan Aspinall, if he does win, will look back on this particular match with any fondness, but it's all about getting the job done. Double 2. This time, he makes it pay. And Nathan Aspinall.
But Johnny Clayton has beaten him on the European Tour, year before that, 2016, in Sindelfingen. But this looks pretty good from Klaassen.
Yes, it does. And when you think about their head-to-head record, it's when Jelle Klaassen was pretty much hoovering up ranking points. It was,
434.
dare I say, pre-slump.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, 2016-17, that's when Jelle Klaassen was regularly in the semis and the quarters and the finals of European tours. He was looking like he was bound to win one. Just didn't quite happen.
62.
That isn't what he wanted there.
Yeah, he wanted the treble 9, didn't he?
Yeah, he wanted the treble 9. He's gone into the 14.
29.
Here's the danger when you play Klaassen. If he's playing well and quick, you'll find yourself behind in multiple legs very fast. It has not taken too long for Klaassen to stretch his legs. And
Not as big or cavernous or even as modern a venue as some of them, but it's always well supported. It is always hot. It's got the sort of green jacket as a unique prize at the end of it. It does have an identity, and of course this is the place where Johnny Clayton became a big stage title winner in PDC darts for the first time. But the former champion has got his hands full here with the Cobra.
140. You only require 82.
oh, don't give him a shot at that. I promise you, Jelle.
42.
Nobody hits more 1-2-1s than Johnny Clayton.
Is he going to rack up another? He might do on the bullseye.
81.
Doesn't get it.
You're almost surprised when he misses the bullseye on those shots now.
You really are. Jelle, last darts, finds it. Really. Now that
shouldn't be enough to take care of a man who's flying high in the Premier League.
What are your thoughts on the fact that Austria should maybe have a Premier League night? You think it should go to more European countries, or do you think it's okay with the amount of international flavour it already has?
Not sure at the moment. Not sure what benefit there is from it.
Johnny requires 24.
Double 12 for 4 all. Level game. Johnny Clayton is finishing around about 45%.
Was that in Göttingen?
Possibly.
Because that was the season that Richard North got a semi-final in the
very
first one and the last one.
Yeah, it was Göttingen. But it has been a long while since we saw Jelle Klaassen in the final day of a European tour. From this position, it looks like he's going to have to hold throw in a last leg decider to get there again. But
I'm remaining completely on the fence here. I just want to see another leg. I have sat in my chair with my arms folded and just watched this game in awe at just how quick and brilliant it's been.
20 for tops. Not in the way.
40.
Just a little high. Jelle Klaassen won his game yesterday with a 130 checkout. He will not win this one with a 1-2-2, not in this leg at any rate. He's had a chance to win it. Johnny Clayton shuts the door. Jelle sent back to 5-0-1.
Clayton's having a bad visit and he turns it into a half-decent one.
Well, yesterday he produced the best leg of the match, a 12-darter, in the last leg decider to win it, Jelle Klaassen. Here, he's produced the worst leg of the match. And it means that Johnny Clayton is going to get a chance to win it. Hang about. That could turn the tide, but maybe he needed to fill it up.
He threw those very hard. Clayton needs 57 and ball to finish it.
Match start missed by Johnny Clayton. It's the first match start we've seen. There could be another one here for Jelle Klaassen, but it's got to be perfect. And it's certainly not that.
What does he do then? In combination shooting with 32 at the end, he's one of the best in the world, one of the top 1%. But he's going to go for double 19. He doesn't need double 16. And he leaves Jelle Klaassen wanting at the end of the afternoon session.